president, you have been a champion for a reform of the global architectural financial system, and you've advocated for this at various international fora, the UN General Assembly, COP27, amongst others. So speak to us about this agenda, why it is important to you, and how you think it'll benefit Kenya and Africa.
Of course, everybody likes money. But this goes beyond money. Let me give you an example. When we did, for the first time, when we looked at how do we begin to roll out the mechanisms that would make Africa Continental Free Trade Area a reality. We decided to export tea to Ghana. That tea took 6 weeks to get to Ghana because it had to go east first towards Dubai and then back, you know. That journey ordinarily would have taken, even if it was by road from Nairobi, it should have taken maybe a week, maybe 7 days, maybe 6 days. So, logistics is an issue, as was said by Secretary General here. And with logistics comes, how do you put logistics in place? We all know that even traveling, even by air in this continent, is very, very, very difficult and very expensive. Sometimes you have to go to Europe before you come to some other place. So logistics and the infrastructure to make sure that we can move goods, we can move services from one corner to the other. There you speak to financing. How do we finance the infrastructure necessary to unlock the potential of trade between our countries? And finance becomes very central, and three things are very important when you speak about finance. Number one is cost. Number two is scale. Number three is how long it takes to get it. At the moment, and I'm speaking as a policymaker, and I'm speaking as somebody who has interacted in this space, it takes eternity, if I may say. It takes eternity to get to any financial close on many aspects when you're looking for financing, number one. Number two, sometimes you don't get the scale of the money you're looking for. And number three, there is something called risk, which is a new definition of how not to lend money. Because this risk, and you know, and we pay an arm and a leg for risk. Although data speaks a different language, data shows that investments in our region are not as risky as they are being profiled. So in fact, this profiling of our region as a risky destination is a conspiracy by people. And I saw some of them about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They were trying to profile us, the credit rating agencies. I think they are the new tools of colonialism, if I may say. Because data speak a different language from the risk we are being profiled. And as a result, we are all now in this space, and it's almost a consensus that the people, the rest of us in this region, we pay anywhere between 4 and 8 times more for resources, for development, for investment, put in place infrastructure than others, than our brothers and sisters in the global north. And we have no problem with our brothers and sisters in the global north accessing finances lower than us. The question we are asking ourselves, is that why are we not getting the same treatment? Why are we being profiled negatively when facts and data show something different? So this is the conversation we want to have. And it is a foregone conclusion today that the system we have is not working. It is not working. It can do better. And that's why we are saying there is need for reform of the international financial system to do three things. Reform, to speak to time. How long does it take? It takes minimum 18, 24 months. You know, some of the interventions don't have that kind of gestation period, doesn't have that kind of time, number one. Number two, scale. I'm speaking, for example, and I'm asking myself, if we were to ask for $3 billion to build the standard gauge railway, which China was gracious to give to us, and it took a fairly short time, below 12 months, we wouldn't have built the SGR if we were looking for finances in the current financial system. We wouldn't get that scale. And number three, we wouldn't get the kind of interest that we are looking for. So our position is that there is something the current international financial institutions can from China, for example, scale and speed. Maybe there is something China can also learn from our current international institution. But we are saying there's need to be a conversation. We need a conversation that makes all of us winners. And what we are saying is, in the reform of these institutions, we're not being reckless. What we are saying is, let us have a fairer international financial system that doesn't price the rest of us into debt, into default, into a situation where it becomes impossible. I mean, let me just ask us seated here. If one person is paying 8 times more than the other, isn't that person paying 8 times set up to fail from the beginning? In fact, it would be a miracle if you don't default. In fact, I think some people are asking themselves, why have these people not defaulted? And it is the same reason, for example, why those Moody's people, the credit rating agencies, were really pushing that, Kenya is in very serious situation. Until we told them, if you continue profiling us negatively, we will pay off this debt and see what you're going to do. Because they were making it look like we are unable to pay. We're telling them we want to pay. In fact, we want to pay before it's due. And they wanted to tell us, if you pay before it's due, it amounts to a default. What kind of nonsense is that? I mean, if you pay your debt early, how does it become a default? It's madness, isn't it? But we're not conforming to what their expectations. So they're wondering, you are paying 8% more. Why are you not defaulting? Why do you want to pay early? This is the unfortunate conversation we want to have. And that's why, just to conclude, we're saying we want a fairer system that doesn't mistreat other people. We want a fairer system that we pay whatever others are paying. And good people asking for a fairer system, saying that we want to pay the same interest others are paying, is not asking for too much. It is not breaking the system. It is not unreasonable. I mean, by all accounts, it cannot be unreasonable. We're all saying, let's pay what others are paying. And let's get the scale that can help us achieve what we want. and let us accelerate so that we can all move at the same pace. So that is the push. It is the position of many leaders in the global south. This is not a conversation of North versus South. No, it is a conversation of fairness. And we are not saying the global North should pay more than us. No, we are saying let's pay the same. Tell me how that is not a good thing.
And that's right. And Ms. Greenspan, you also